Good day everyone, I am Lucila Dumabok and today I will be reporting the continuation of the report of Ms. Naya May Orsham. Now let us proceed to the testimonial evidence consisted of oral testimonies by the following people. First, Martin Constantino followed by the following: Aguido del Rosario, Jose Reyes, Moises Salvador, Jose Dizon, Domingo Franco, Diodato Arellano, Ambrosio Salvador, Pedro Serrano Loctao, Dr. Pio Valenzuela, Antonio Salazar, Francisco Quizon, and Timoteo Paez. So on the following, on November 26, after the preliminary investigation, Colonel Olive transmitted the records of the case to Governor General Ramon Blanco, and the latter appointed Captain Rafael Dominguez as a special judge advocate to institute the corresponding action against Rizal. Immediately, Dominguez made a brief resume of the charges and returned the papers to Governor General Blanco, who thereupon transmitted them to the Judge Advocate General Don Nicolas de la Peña for an opinion. So after studying the papers, General Don Nicolas de la Peña submitted 4 recommendations, and these are: first, the accused be immediately brought to trial. Second, he should be kept in prison. Third, an order of attachment be issued against him, his property to the amount of 1 million pesos as identified. And lastly, the fourth one, he should be defended in court by an army officer, not by a civilian lawyer. So, on December 8, the feast day of the Immaculate Conception is the day that Rizal will choose his defender. So before that, a list of 100 first and second lieutenant was presented to Rizal. Then, after looking at the list, one name was struck his fancy, and it was Don Luis Travel de Andrade, or the first lieutenant of the artillery. So next, on December 11, the information of charges was formally read to Rizal in his prison cell. He was accused the principal organizer and the living soul of Filipino insurrection, the founder of societies, periodicals, and books dedicated to fomenting and propagating ideas of rebellion. On December 15, so Rizal wrote a manifesto to his people. So the manifesto was written in prison cell at Fort Santiago, and it was titled "My Countrymen." So you can read it at the textbook. So sorry about that. Excuse me. So on December 25, 1896, Christmas Day, so it was said there that Rizal's saddest Christmas and his last on earth. So it's so sad that it will be his last Christmas in this world. So he wrote a letter to Lieutenant Travel de Andrade. So let's proceed to the trial of Rizal. So in the trial of Rizal, eloquent proof of Spanish injustice and misrule. Rizal's case was prejudged. He was considered guilty before the trial. So, accepted all testimonies against Rizal and ignored all arguments and proof in his favor. So, it was so unfair in Rizal's place that all the negative ones and prejudice was accepted by the court, while his arguments and proof was never accepted. So after the Christmas Day and the trial of Rizal on December 26, 1896, 8 a.m. So, court-martial of Rizal started in the military building of Cartel de España. The court decisions was submitted and later affirmed the death verdict. So, here are the supplementary defense of Rizal. So, it has 12. So, the first one, number 1. So, he could not be guilty for rebellion, for he advised Dr. Pio Valenzuela in Dapitan not to rise in revolution. Number 2. He did not correspond with the radical revolutionary elements. Number 3. The revolutionist used his name without his knowledge. If he were guilty, he could have escaped in Singapore. 4. If he had a hand in the revolution, he could have escaped in Amoro Vinta and would not have built a home, hospital, and bought lands in Dapitan. 5th, if he were the chief of the revolution, why was he not consulted by the revolutionists? 6. It was true he wrote bylaws of the La Liga Filipina, but this is only a civic association, not a revolutionary society. 7. The Liga Filipina did not live long, for after the first meeting, he was banished to Dapitan and it died out. 8. If the Liga was recognized 9 months sorry about that, excuse me. So, 8. If the Liga was recognized 9 months later, he did not know about it. 9. The Liga did not serve the purpose of revolutionists. Otherwise, they would not have supplanted it with the Katipunan. 10. If it were true that there were some bitter comments in Rizal's letters, it was because they were written in 1890 when his family was being persecuted, being disposed of houses, warehouses, lands, and etc. And his brother and all his brothers-in-law were deported. 11. His life in Dapitan had been exemplary, as the politico-military commanders and missionary priests could attest. And lastly, it was not true that the revolution was inspired by his one speech at the house of Doroteo Ojanco, as alleged by witnesses whom he would like to confront. His friends knew his opposition to armed rebellion. Why did the Katipunan send emissary to Dapitan who was unknown to him? Because who knew him were aware that he would never sanction any violent movement. So, on December 28, 1896, so the Governor General Polavieja approved the decision of court-martial and ordered Rizal to be shot at 7 in the morning of December at Bagumbayan Field, Luneta.